In Java, we have multiple ways of creating a string, either via plus operator concatenating different parts, or string builder, calling append method. This kind of code is hard to read, so Java asked the basic question: could we improve on that? Many languages address this readability problem with something called string interpolation, but what this actually is? I will read a simple definition of what string interpolation is, and you will grab the idea right away. String interpolation is a mechanism that computes values dynamically via processor and syntax communication, which turns external values through deliberate integration of parallel options with access to actual values that reside in a realm of definitions above declared values. I'm kidding. In JavaScript, for example, whenever you want to compute some value, you just type $, curly brackets, and write code that needs to be computed. Java thought, why not to borrow the idea and introduced a string templates. Type str, which is called a template processor, dot open quotes. When you want to specify a value that must be computed dynamically, just type backslash, curly braces, and code that needs to be computed inside. When we will print this value, we will receive 5 plus 10 equals 15. Inside template, we can call methods. Use Boolean values to decide which one of two options you would like to use. We can increment number, retrieve values from an array, or can conveniently use it with text blocks. In all these situations, we use str template processor. But what if we would like to print formatted text like this? For that purpose, we can use ftm template processor. Just type ftm instead of str and specify the format, how much space each value should occupy. There is one more thing you need to know. Usage of str template processor is a shortcut. Normally, we would have to call the process of str. This method accepts a string template argument. How can we create the instance of this string template? The easiest way is to use raw template processor. Just type raw.quotes and then just specify a template. This processor creates string template instance that could be passed to the process method of str. To recap, str template processor calculates dynamic values. ftm template processor formats the text, and raw creates an instance of string template. One of the goals of introducing string templates was to improve security of Java programs. Let's say we have a query. Select all from personal data table where name equals to some value that comes from user input. User might type something like Smith or name not equal Smith. Full SQL will be select all persons whose name is Smith or not Smith. At this point, user will get information about all other users we have in database. It is dangerous to use user input without any validation. So how string templates could be used to improve security of Java programs? We can create our own template processor and use it to validate an input string. It's easy to do. Implement string template.processor interface, specifying the return value that you would like to get eventually, an exception type that will be thrown in case something will go wrong. Implement the process method, our SQL exception specified at the end of the method. Returned value we specified earlier will be used here too. As an argument, we receive string template, but where it comes from? Remember, we were talking about raw template processor. str template processor with quotes is just a shortcut. What's really happening? Raw template processor code first to create instance of string template, and later on this value is passed to the process method. Coming back to our example, that's where we get the string template instance from. Let's just look at the example we have here. We use fragments method inside string template to get our SQL query and use string join to put question mark where parameters should be. The result we get every person whose name is the question mark. Next, we connect to the database, transform string query into prepared statement. Second method we use from string templates is values that returns every parameter that should be used instead of those curly braces. We do some replacement to exclude potentially unsafe values and put the parameter back instead of question mark. Later, we can create an instance of newly created class and use it as template processor. That's the most important things you need to know about string templates. Now try to put this knowledge in practice.